My last update, we left off with the engine installed. Engine's in there. Currently held by 3 mounts. I just need to put the axles in and mount up the cross member. Currently there's no axle. Axle's still sitting out here. Engine's all in. Everything is hooked up. All the hoses, power steering. Actually, brake booster was different from the NA chassis to the turbo. This is the hard pipe that runs along here underneath, goes through there, behind the heat shield into the belly of the car. That was the hose that I have to switch out. This is the, so you guys can have an idea of how it looks like. This is the NA. This is right behind the firewall, and it only goes to there, and that's it. The other one I have to route around the shock tower. Well, that's where you disconnect it. And the updates for the difference between the turbo and the NA chassis. Even though I replaced all the body harness and the engine harness, just a little bit more work. Everything plugs directly in. I'm missing a few pins from the NA body harness to the turbo harness. The difference was here, right at this connection where the firewall, where it goes through the firewall. You guys see this plug? This is the only plug that is different from the 91 to the 93 body harness. So the 91, actually, I'm sorry, for the turbo harness is this. This is the connector, and this is the blue wire that you're supposed to disconnect, because this goes to the body harness on the turbo chassis, which is just one wire. Here, all you need to do is just match up the color code. Blue wire with black stripes, and on the turbo chassis, it's just one wire coming out of this connector here, and it's the upper right hand corner. That is the only wire that is in this connector. That's ridiculous, but yeah, that's how they left it. Just 6 pinhole with one wire coming out. So all you need to do is just depin it, or you can find a 93 body harness connector, which I do have, and I don't feel like cutting off the harness and then just use one wire. That's a waste of a connection for me. So I just depin it and just pin it into the body harness of the car. I guess all of these are for the stock subwoofer and stock amp, but everything else match up. We have a 3-wire connection here for the body harness, and this is the part where it goes up to the top. This goes all the way up to the top. And this is out of the 93. This is out of the 93, as you guys can see there. That's the NA, and this is a whole complete harness that goes from bottom all the way to the top, around that area in the back, and it loops to the side. It goes to the top where the defroster is. So this goes to the speakers and everything. Looks like I'm gonna have to cut it right here, somewhere around this area, because my 93 body harness is still intact. I'm just cut it and splice it, or cut it and depin it and stick it right into these three from the body harness, because all the wires this exact same color, it match up perfectly. Black, white, and green, and the connectors black, white, and green. It goes all the way to the top, and the green and white wires at the top, which doesn't match anything on here besides up there. That is where the third brake light is. So I already have it connected there. All I have to do is just break the connection right here. So guys, make sure you do this fuel pump if you can do the N80 turbo, whether it's a 91 or a 93. Make sure this wire is hooked up, otherwise you get no fuel. And I'm pretty sure there is a lot of write-ups that you guys can find in the MR2 community. I just happened to do this for a while, so I know that there is this blue and black wire right here that I need to hook up. So I didn't need to go through any of those forums to find it. But I did the side by side comparison to the body harness, turbo to the NA, and the only difference is a couple pins in the kick panel. I think it's for the gauge cluster. I still have the 91 cluster in here, which uses the speed cable sensor, speed sensor. It still uses the cable. The 93 has electronic speed sensor, and I am currently looking for one. So if anybody have a 93 gauge cluster, please let me know. That is not going to charge me an arm and leg. Please let me know. Besides that, this car is pretty much ready to go. We just need to do all the plumbings, minor stuff, mount the cross member in, and then of course I gotta replace the front shock, front suspension, just this side, the driver's side, because this one hasn't been switched out yet. I'm gonna have to change all the control arms and everything and switch it over to my turbo one. So I'm gonna leave you guys here while I install the axle. Don't feel intimidated, guys. The MR2 axle is actually the easiest axle to pull apart. All it is just clips. There's a retaining clip that holds the half shaft together. done. Of course, I'm missing an axle bolt or axle nut. That's because I cut off the old one. And I have to order another one. Or if somebody have an extra one, please let me know. I need a turbo axle bolt or nut. Let me give you guys a quick startup. All right, let's not get too crazy. I still gotta hook up some pipings. Okay guys, I will leave you guys here, and since I'm gonna be doing the little stuff, it will take a lot of time. With you guys watching, it'll be a waste of your time. It'll just bore you guys to death. So I will put everything together, every little thing here and there, and then once the car is back on the ground, I will give you guys the final startup with the blow off valve, pipings, everything hooked up, intercooler pipings and everything, so you guys actually see the actual car on the road again. Okay guys, peace. See you guys on the next episode.